And they, all three of the little kids, little stair steps, they'd come up there and sing that little song. And we was going to minister as a family. Anybody remember that song, God's Still Working on Me? Huh? The two older kids would do pretty good about it. And then my youngest son, at the time, his only part was at the end, he said, the kids would say, God's still working on me, and his part was supposed to come at the end. It says, and you. Well, he didn't always do that. I had to kind of touch him, and he would say, oh, and you. But one night, we come home from a service. I'll never forget, we were in Burton, Michigan, living in a rented house. And as we did as a family, every night, we had devotions. We had Bible reading and prayer. And dads, men, if you're not leading your family in a daily devotion or daily prayer, you're making a tremendous mistake. You should take advantage as a priest of your home and lead your family in prayer. Lead your family in a Bible reading or a devotion every single night. I read the Bible through to my children probably at least 2 or 3 times during their lifetime, just by reading a few verses every night. And we would mark it off. And so anyway, that night we prayed. And I remember putting my son, he slept in the top bunk, and I put him up there in the top bunk. He was about 8 or 9 years old at the time. And he looked at me, because he'd been traveling with me, okay? First of all, he heard my testimony, how God called me. And secondly, he'd been hearing about Jesus coming back. So that night he was a little concerned. And after we prayed, he looked at me. And he says, Daddy, he says, if Jesus comes back before we get to Africa, will there be an Africa we can go to when we get to heaven? Now think about it for a moment.